Hey guys, it's Chris from Macombo, and I'm here with the Orbi World Phone MV1 4G. Now, if you've not heard of Orbi before, they are global brands. They're in a lot of developing markets, a lot of developed markets now as well. Offices all over the place, including Singapore. And this is their very first entry into the UK phone market, the MV1 4G. So the idea behind Orbi World Phone is they create really nicely designed phones, sort of low specs, but for a good budget basically. So it's going to be a tricky one, them coming into the UK with a new budget phone, because obviously the likes of the Moto phones, Lenovo's just started coming out with cheaper stuff like the K5 here, and you got lots of other brands like even Samsung are breaking into the budgety stuff and doing a really good job of it. So we'll see how the Orbi World Phone MV1 4G rather cracks on. First of all, it's a very nice plain box. It's a good thing I knew which model of phone it was before it turned up. Otherwise, I'd have no idea, because there is literally bugger all on here apart from Orbi. So let's try and crack into it and take a little look at the MV1 4G. I'm actually already struggling to get it over. Come on, you little. There we go. Brief struggle over. Okay, so here we go. So here is the Orbi phone. Now, so this is the box proper now. As you can see, you can actually see the phone straight off through the transparent lid. As you see, it's quite a funky design. We'll take a closer look at that in a second. On the back here, we've actually got some of the specs and everything as well, so that's all good. So we'll rattle through those as we actually check out the phone itself. So it's a Cyanogen phone, first of all, built on Cyanogen 12.1.1, built on top of Android Lollipop 5.1.1, I believe it was. So it's the latest version of Cyanogen, and Orbi has promised us an update to version 13.1 as well when that's available, over-the-air update. So that's all nice. Let's see if I can do a better job of getting into this box. Here we go. So let's just prise this bad boy out. So as you can see, a very uniquely designed phone, flat on the top edge here, and rounded on the bottom. So it's definitely going to stand out. It certainly feels really nice in the hand as well. It's about 150 grams-ish. So it's got a nice bit of heft to it. It certainly doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. And as you can see there as well, that's just an idea of what to expect from the interface itself. It's running Orbi's own LifeSpeed, I believe it was, UI. So if I can just somehow managing to get this little... Sorry, I'm once again epically failing on the whole getting the damn stuff off. Hang on, here we go. I'm feeling this corner. This corner is coming. God damn you. God damn you all. God damn you. Ah, there we go. Right, brilliant. That is off. Right. So, so there is the phone. Let's see if we can actually get it powered up. Hopefully, though, yes, we have some charge in there already. So as you can see, there you go, Cyanogen. We'll just let that boot up, and we'll take a bit of a look at the rest of the box while we're doing this. It is an unboxing video after all. Right, so first of all, of course, you've got the usual bit of documentation. So I'm yeah, there you go. Get started, blah blah blah. But that we know our stuff, don't we, kiddies? It's all good. Side, this is a European charger, but I'm assuming that the final UK box version that will hit stores is going to be available through the likes of Amazon. Will come with a UK charger, at least you'd hope it would, and then in here we'll just have the USB cable, I'm assuming, which again I'll probably take about 3 hours actually cracking open. There you go. So it's just your old school USB. It's not Type C. Of course, this is a budget device, so what do you expect? So if we take a look at the actual phone itself, as you can see, it's quite a chunky little phone, and it's one of the reasons for that is this floating display actually sticks up out of the top of the frame, the glass bit. So it's kind of similar to the old school Nokia Lumia phones, for instance. That sort of vibe to it. It's full Gorilla Glass, of course, so it'll be nice and tough. And yeah, this is a black model. I believe you can get it in other colours as well, because obviously black is a little bit dull. It's quite nice to have a more vibrant handset. That's what we think anyway. Let's just try and peel off. Oh God, more stuff to peel off. Why must you torment me? Here we go. Just get this bit off. Oh, it's a tough one. Oh, ripping it now. Okay, there we go. Oh God, stop tearing. There we go. Right. So a nice matte finish to the back there. It's got a slightly sort of rubbery feel to it, nice smooth texture though, but that should hopefully help grip. As you can see, it doesn't slip out of the palm, which is always good. Yeah, and on the back here, we've got an 8 megapixel camera, complete with LED flash. Got the speaker down at the bottom here, bit of Orbi brand in there. And I hope that isn't a scratch. No, that isn't. It's just a bit of a mark. Good, good. Don't want to scratch it up already. And you've got USB Type 2 at the bottom there. As you'll see as well, you can prise off this back plate. This is where I didn't bite my fingernails. There we go. And inside, got the removable battery, always nice to have. You also get a microSD memory card slot, and you've got dual SIM card slots as well, which I believe is coming to the UK model as well. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be on the UK handset also. So let's close that all up again. We're going to have to skip through the setup process now, so I'll just do a bit of editor magic. Right, okay, we've gone through all the boring setup stuff, set up the Wi-Fi, signed into my Cyanogen account and all the rest of it. And now we're just waiting for the, oh no, in fact, there's a little start thing there. So here we go, we're going to jump straight into Cyanogen OS, hopefully, eventually. So it's 5-inch IPS display, 720p HD. Certainly in the little demo I've already received, it looked nice and sharp. Viewing angles, probably not the best, though it's kind of hard to tell. Let me just move this light away again. So yeah, not the strongest, but you know, not too bad. Let's just boost up the brightness as well. So, pull this, come on, there we go. Boost the brightness right up. It's not 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi compatible, unfortunately, so I've had to connect to the clunky old Wi-Fi connection here in the office. But there you go. As you can see, the OS is very different from your typical Android. It's of course full Cyanogen, so as you can see, apps are ordered alphabetically like so. You've got the usual Cyanogen options such as pin scramble for better security. You've got Truecaller, which identifies who's calling you and tells you if there's any, any spammy PPI. Oh, we heard you were in a car accident bullshit. So it'll be good to skip through all that. What else to say is quad-core 212 Snapdragon processor, I believe it is, packed inside. So we'll have a substantial play with it. I'll be using it as my full-time phone for the next few days for the review. But certainly just from a quick play, it seems smooth enough. And Cyanogen, seems to recall, doesn't require a massive amount of power in order to run well. So as I say, there was an 8 megapixel camera on the back there. If we jump into the camera app, boop, there we are. Yes, that is fine. I think it's a nice simple camera interface. All you do is typically, like most Android phones, just tap to focus, and you can also adjust your flash. There's full manual controls as well if you want to dive into that. So all the different settings and everything. Change how the exposure levels, the ISO levels, all that kind of stuff. Flick across to video. You can see it's set on 720p as default. That's the highest it can go. We can go all the way down to QSAFE. High-speed slow motion option there, all the rest of it. And then if we skip into the general power shutter button, volume controls, all the rest of it. So that's all good. You can also take panoramas, of course, and then that's your video button. So you can jump straight into shooting movies if you want, or you can just take a quick photo. So let's just see. It's not the fastest snapper around, but you know, for a budget model, it's pretty much what you'd expect. Hopefully the shots will come out nice and crisp. Again, we'll be testing that out in full. Just jump back to the interface. If you actually shut it down and then power it up, there we go. That's part of the LifeSpeed UI. So you can jump straight into your phone, your camera, and I believe this is the web browser. So we just jump up there. Oh, didn't take us into the web browser. Maybe that's because that's not all set up. I'll have a good flick through the settings and see what's going on there. Get dual mics in there, so hopefully call quality should be good even when you're in a noisy environment. And there's 16 gigs of storage packed away inside as well. And you can boost that via microSD memory card slots, as we saw before when we popped it open. So I'll stick my SIM card in there and do an extensive bit of testing over the next few days and bring you a full review. But that, in a nutshell, is the Orbi World Phone MV1 4G coming to the UK end of this month. Actually, it should be available via the likes of Amazon. So if you've got any questions at all, let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.